Every call in the streets of Chicago carries weight. But this one could change everything. A late-night phone rings in the middle of chaos, and the voice on the other end isn't just asking for help, it's a cry from the past, a reminder of what Tommy Egan thought he left behind. Cash Grant has never called Tommy before, but tonight, the rules are different. Tonight, loyalty and bloodlines collide in a way neither of them can escape. The night is cold, and Chicago's skyline looks like a heartbeat made of fire and glass. The streets are alive with the sound of sirens echoing between concrete walls, a rhythm that never ends. Somewhere in the middle of it, Cash Grant walks alone, his hood pulled up, his hands trembling around his phone. The city feels heavier than usual, like it's holding secrets it doesn't want to tell. Cash's shoes scrape against the wet pavement, and with every step, he feels the pressure growing inside his chest. He's not the same kid he once was. The one who used to sit quietly in the corner while his mother tried to protect him from a world that didn't care about rules. The same world that took her away. He's older now, but the ghosts still follow him. He's been trying to stay out of trouble, trying to keep his head down. But trouble in Chicago doesn't ask for permission, it finds you. Whether you want it or not, tonight, it found Cash. A deal gone wrong. A name whispered in anger. A threat he couldn't ignore. He knew it would come to this one day, but not like this, not with his back against the wall, not with people hunting him in the same city his mother died in. His hands shake as he scrolls through his contacts. There's only one number that makes sense to call, though it feels like a sin just thinking about it. Tommy Egan. The name alone brings a rush of memories. The man who once brought both chaos and safety into their lives. His mother trusted him. Feared him, loved him, maybe. Cash never understood it. But he remembers Tommy's eyes, cold, sharp, the kind that saw everything and missed nothing. Tommy was the kind of man who didn't ask questions twice. If you called him, you better mean it. And now Cash does. He presses the call button, his heart pounding like a gunshot echo. The phone rings once, twice, then silence. For a second, Cash thinks about hanging up. Maybe Tommy won't answer. Maybe he shouldn't, but deep down, Cash knows Tommy always answers when it matters. Because men like him don't turn off their instincts, they live by them. The city hums in the background, neon lights flickering against broken glass. Cash stares down the street, waiting for something, anything. His mind races with questions he doesn't want to face. What will Tommy say? Will he even care? Or worse, will helping Cash pull him back into the storm he's been trying to escape? He doesn't know. All he knows is that he has no one else left to call. And somewhere deep in the dark, that phone keeps ringing. The ringing stops, and for a few seconds, there's nothing but silence, thick, sharp, and suffocating. Then a voice slides through the phone, deep and steady, the kind that can freeze your blood even when it sounds calm. Cash, Tommy's voice cuts through the noise like steel through smoke. He doesn't sound surprised. He never does. It's as if he's been expecting this call all along. Cash opens his mouth, but no words come out. His throat feels tight, his chest heavier than before. He takes a breath, trying to hold himself together. Tommy, it's me, he finally manages. The words feel small, weak, like they don't belong in the same sentence as that name. There's a pause on the other end, a dangerous pause. It's not the kind that comes from confusion. It's the kind that comes from calculation. You can almost hear Tommy's mind moving, piecing together every reason why this kid, this connection to a painful past, would suddenly reach out in the middle of the night. Tommy doesn't ask how Cash got his number. He already knows there are things better left unexplained. Instead, his voice drops low, heavy with warning. You know what time it is, right? People don't call me unless they're in deep. Cash glances over his shoulder. A car passes by, its headlights crawling across the walls like ghosts searching for a way in. I didn't know who else to call, he says. They're looking for me, Tommy. I didn't do anything wrong, but they think I did. His voice shakes now, the fear spilling out in waves. They said my name like it was already written on a tombstone. Tommy exhales through his nose, a quiet breath that feels like thunder on the other side of the line. Who? Cash hesitates. He doesn't want to say the name. He's afraid even the air might turn against him if he does. Rika's people, he whispers. They think I crossed them. They think I set them up. Tommy leans back in his chair somewhere across the city. The sound of faint music and distant sirens filters through his end. He doesn't respond right away. He's weighing it. Rika's name means something in Chicago, something that drags blood into the streets. Tommy's eyes narrow, his brain flashing back to faces, deals, and deaths long forgotten. You shouldn't be in the middle of that, kid, he says finally. You shouldn't even be in this city. Cash laughs bitterly. You think I don't know that, but this city's all I got. My mom, she's gone. The people who were supposed to look out for me, they disappeared when things got hard. His voice cracks slightly. You were the only one who ever came through for her. I thought maybe. He trails off the sentence and finished. He doesn't have to finish it. Tommy already knows what he means. The silence stretches again, and Cass can almost hear the weight shifting in Tommy's chest. Tommy Egan has made peace with being alone. But the name Lakeisha still lives in the corners of his heart, quiet but sharp. And now, her son, the one she died protecting, is on the phone, running for his life. Finally, Tommy speaks, his tone colder but steadier. Where are you? Cash's breath catches. He gives an address to some abandoned lot near the edge of town, a place where streetlights flicker like dying stars. Don't move, Tommy says. And don't talk to nobody. I'll find you. The line goes dead. No goodbye. No promise of safety. Just the quiet click that means Tommy is already on his way. Cash lowers the phone, staring at the dark screen. For a moment, he feels relief, like a drowning man who's finally seen land. But underneath that, something else brews fear. Because when Tommy gets involved, things never stay simple. Across the city, Tommy steps out of his apartment, his jacket thrown over his shoulder, his expression unreadable. The streets recognize him even if the people don't say his name out loud. Every shadow seems to move aside when he walks. He's a man who left behind too many graves to count, but something about this call, something about Cash, pulls him back in. As he starts the engine of his Mustang, the growl of the car breaks the night in half. The city lights flash across his face, revealing the faintest trace of emotion, guilt, anger, maybe both. He doesn't know what he's walking into, but that never stopped him before. For Cash, the call meant hope. For Tommy, it meant reopening a wound that never healed. Two lives now racing toward a collision they can't avoid. And as the Mustang disappears into the maze of Chicago's midnight streets, one thing becomes clear: whatever happens next, there's no turning back. The night wind bites harder now, carrying the faint smell of smoke and gasoline as Tommy's Mustang rips through the streets. The city moves around him like a ghost, familiar yet distant, the same concrete veins pulsing with new blood. He's driven these roads 1,000 times before, but tonight they feel different. The air hums with something heavier than danger, something personal. Cash Grant, the kid who shouldn't have been dragged into this life. The kid who reminds him too much of everything he's lost. Tommy slows the car near the edge of the south side, where the streetlights start to fade and the sound of life thins out. The place Cash mentioned isn't much a forgotten lot fenced in by rust and silence. Broken glass sparkles faintly in the dirt like old memories refusing to die. Tommy steps out, boots crunching on gravel, his breath visible in the cold air. The city hums behind him, but here, everything is still. Too still, he doesn't call out. Tommy's not the type to announce himself. He scans the shadows, eyes sharp, body tense. Then, from the far side of the lot, a faint movement. Cash steps out from behind a half-collapsed wall, his hood still up, his hands jammed into his pockets. For a moment, neither of them says anything. Just two figures caught between the past and what's coming next. When Tommy finally speaks, his voice is low but cuts through the quiet like a blade. You got a bad habit of showing up in the wrong kind of trouble. Cash looks down, guilt written all over his face. I didn't have a choice, he says quietly. They think I took something from them. Tommy narrows his eyes. Did you? Cash hesitates too long. Tommy catches it instantly. Kid, in this city, hesitation is the same as confession. He takes a step closer, his presence heavy. You better start telling me what you got yourself into before I start guessing. And trust me, you don't want me guessing. Cash swallows hard, his voice barely above a whisper. There was a drop Rico's people. I was just supposed to drive. But when we got there, someone had already hit them. Took everything. Guns, cash, product. They think I set them up. Said they saw my car leaving the scene. Tommy stares at him for a long time. And you didn't? I swear, Cash says, desperation cracking his voice. I didn't even know what was going down. I was trying to get out before things got worse. Tommy looks away for a moment, jaw tightening. He can smell the lie, or maybe just the fear behind it. Either way, he knows one thing: Rico doesn't play games. If they think Cash crossed them, the kid's already marked. And anyone standing next to him might as well be too. Tommy's phone buzzes. Unknown number. He glances at it, ignores it, then looks back at Cash. You sure no one followed you? Cash hesitates again, then shakes his head. No. I don't think so. Tommy doesn't like I don't think so. He moves toward the edge of the lot, scanning the street. Then he sees it, a black SUV parked half a block away, headlights off, engine running low. A figure sitting behind the wheel, watching. Tommy's tone shifts instantly, sharp as glass. Get down. Cash freezes. What? Tommy grabs his arm and drags him behind the wall just as a gunshot splits the air. The sound echoes through the empty lot, bouncing off concrete and steel. Another shot. The SUV's headlights flash on, cutting through the dark. Move. Tommy shouts. They dart toward the back fence, ducking low. Bullets slam into the wall behind them, spraying dirt and sparks. Cash's breath comes in ragged bursts, his hands shaking. Tommy doesn't slow down. He's been in this kind of storm before. He knows the rhythm of chaos like a heartbeat. They crash through the fence, Tommy shoving Cash ahead of him. The sound of tires screeching behind them fills the night. Tommy pulls his gun, firing to quick shots toward the SUV. Glass shatters, and the car swerves, but doesn't stop. They reach an alley, dark and narrow. Tommy pushes Cash against the wall, his eyes burning with anger. You said no one followed you. I didn't know, I swear. Cash stammers, his voice breaking. Tommy glares at him, then exhales sharply. You got a lot to learn about this life, kid. First rule: you don't run to me unless you're ready for what follows. In the distance, sirens begin to rise, faint but growing closer. Tommy looks toward the street, then back at Cash. We're not safe here. You got one shot at staying alive tonight, and that's sticking with me. But after this, there's no halfway. You understand? Cash nods, fear and gratitude mixing in his eyes. Tommy steps back, scanning the dark. All right, he mutters. Then let's finish what someone else started. They disappear into the shadows, the city swallowing them whole. Somewhere behind them, the SUV engine roars to life again, chasing the scent of unfinished business. For the first time in years, Tommy Egan isn't just surviving the night, he's being dragged back into it. And this time, it's not about money, power, or territory. It's about a kid tied to a promise he made long ago, to a woman whose ghost still follows him in every flicker of streetlight. The past isn't behind Tommy anymore. It's sitting right next to him, breathing, bleeding, and running for its life. The night had quieted, but not in a peaceful way. It was that dangerous calm that creeps in after chaos, the kind that makes every sound feel louder, every shadow look alive. Tommy and Cash move through the back streets of Chicago, their footsteps soft but fast. The rain starts to fall, thin at first, then heavier, washing the blood and dust off the pavement. Streetlights flicker as if the city itself can't decide whether to look away or watch what's coming. Tommy's Mustang is gone, left behind when the shooting started. They're on foot now, cutting through alleys where the smell of oil and old smoke mixes with the chill in the air. Cash's breathing is uneven, his hoodie soaked, his nerves shot. Tommy doesn't speak for a long time. He's thinking about the SUV, the gunfire, the name Rico. He's thinking about how nothing in Chicago happens without a reason. Someone set this up. Someone wanted this call to happen. Finally, he stops beneath an old bridge, water dripping down the cracked concrete. Sit, he orders. Cash obeys, collapsing against the cold wall. Tommy lights a cigarette, the flame briefly illuminating his face hard, focused, unreadable. You sure you didn't take anything from them? Cash shakes his head, his voice barely steady. No, I told you. I was just there to drive. But someone must have known the drop was happening. They hid it before we even got there. Tommy studies him, smoke curling between his words. Then whoever set you up wanted Rico's people to think it was you. That means this ain't random. Someone's pulling strings. Cash looks down. You think they're still looking for me? Tommy gives a short, humorless laugh. Kid, once your name's in the wind, it don't stop blowing. He flicks the cigarette away and looks out toward the street. But the part that bothers me is how they found you this fast. You're small time. You don't just pop up on their radar unless someone's feeding them your location. The realization hits Cash like a punch. You mean someone I know. Someone close, Tommy says flatly. Maybe a friend. Maybe whoever told you about that drop. He looks at Cash again, his voice low. You trust too easy. That's gonna get you killed. Cash presses his palms against his face, frustration and fear mixing into something raw. I didn't ask for this, Tommy. I just wanted to stay out of it. I wanted a normal life. Tommy's tone softens, but only slightly. A normal life don't exist in this city. Not for people like us. You're your mother's son. You think the streets don't remember her name? They do. And they know who you are because of it. The words cut deep. Cash looks up, his voice trembling. You talk like I owe this city something. I didn't choose any of this. You did? Tommy steps closer, his jaw tightening. You think I chose it. You think I wanted to bury the people I loved. His voice rises, sharp and real. I did what I had to do. And now you're gonna have to do the same. For a long moment, the only sound is the rain hitting metal. Then Cash's phone buzzes. The vibration echoes like a gunshot in the silence. He hesitates, looking at Tommy. Should I answer? Tommy nods slowly. Put it on speaker. Cash swipes the screen. A distorted voice comes through, rough and deliberate. You running, kid? You think Tommy Egan can save you? The voice laughs a low, chilling sound. You got something that belongs to us. You don't bring it back. You both die. Cash's face drains of color. I told you. I don't have anything. Tommy snatches the phone, his tone like a knife. You got something to say. Say it to me. The voice pauses, then speaks again. Tommy Egan. Should have known. You can't stay out of it, can you? This city's got a way of dragging its ghost back. Then the line goes dead. Tommy stares at the phone, his reflection glimmering in the wet screen. He knows that voice. He's heard it before in a warehouse years ago, during a deal that ended in blood. Rico might be the name everyone knows, but behind Rico, there's always someone else, a silent player, someone who remembers Tommy's name too well. He looks at Cash, who's shaking now. They're not after you for what you did. They're after you for who you are. Cash's eyes widen. What do you mean? Your mother was loyal to me, Tommy says quietly. Too loyal. She kept things from people, money, names, files, stuff they never found after she was gone. You think they forgot? You're her kid. They think she left it with you. The truth hits like thunder. Cash leans back, stunned. So this isn't about me. It's about her. Tommy nods. It's always about her. He pulls out his gun, checking the clip. They want a war. They'll get one. But we're not waiting around to die. Cash looks at him, fear in his eyes, but something else to resolve. What do we do now? Tommy gives a small, cold smile. We hit first. He stands, rain dripping off his jacket, eyes locked on the dark skyline ahead. You wanted my help, kid. Now you got it. But from this point on, you're in it for real. No running, no hiding. You either fight or you don't make it to morning. Cash nods slowly, the weight of his choice settling in. He looks out into the night, where the city glows faintly like a battlefield waiting to ignite. For the first time, he understands the world his mother tried to protect him from. And standing beside Tommy Egan, he knows there's no turning back. The streets of Chicago are awake again and they're hungry.